Hi, everyone. It is Linda here at ThoughtChange.com. I'm here with my good friends and co hosts of the Facebook group Soul Shine Alchemy, Debbra Lupien from Akasha Unleashed, and Miche Meizner from the Spoonbenders Cafe. So, welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Today, we're having a discussion on paradigms. Choosing our paradigm, where we want to put our focus, what we believe is true, and how that can shift in our lives, and how there can be a little bit of bleed through sometimes. So, Deborah, why don't you start first? Because you had a little bit of information about Doreen Virtue.
Yeah, and I don't want to focus on the name so much. It's just the concept, because I was somebody who bought Doreen Virtue's cards and followed her kind of. So all these people who were so disillusioned when suddenly she turned her back on everything she'd been teaching because of a new belief system. And as somebody who also channels Metatron, I was a bit offended on Metatron's behalf about the whole thing. It's like she's making all these videos calling Metatron a demon, and it's kind of odd why she feels the need to slander all of these things she no longer believes in. Why can't she just move on with her new belief system and let's all live in harmony? But when I went to Metatron to ask about this, I was told it's none of your business because it's her belief system and it's okay. She can believe whatever she wants. The rest of us just have to figure out where we fall into all of that.
Wow. She was an icon. I mean, in terms of teaching about angels and believing in angels. And I think she even has like certified angel therapists or something out in the world, right? And that's how I know her or knew of her. I mean, I don't know her personally, right? But of her teachings. And then one day I came across maybe on YouTube something where she was saying, you know, what you're saying, where she had really done a complete about face and disavowed everything that she was saying and teaching before. I don't know where her son falls in there because he was also teaching what she was teaching, but it's sort of disconcerting when it's like you say, it's not just moving on, it's trashing, it's like burning what you're leaving, right? I mean, maybe there was some apology in there for that, you know, because she feels like she led us all astray. And so maybe there's some of that. And, you know, I wish she would just sort of leave me where she found me, you know, and, you know, and I'm just going to do my thing. I mean, I didn't follow her down that road, but it's interesting. I have a friend who, from the UK, we've never met in person, but, you know, we met through a mutual teacher and really connected and would do some like channeling together. And she, spontaneously was speaking light language, and we would do these journeys together and all this stuff and had this really amazing connection. And she was the one who said what an amazing connection we had. And then didn't hear from her for a little while. And then all of a sudden she said that she's, I don't know, she's like following Jesus. Okay. But somehow I still don't even know what that means for her. But whatever it means, you know, whatever her paradigm on that was, like this other example, she really was disavowing. I mean, it's like she would still be my friend, but she had no interest at all, like more than no interest, like did not want to touch any of the stuff that we were doing together because she felt like it was not real, right? That it was all going maybe demonic or, you know, satanic, whatever. It was going in the wrong direction and there was no place for it in what she is doing or believing now. You know, and I could even, I mean, I respect, you know, you go wherever you go. I'm just still confused because I have no idea where she went. Because whenever all she would say, yeah, I'm just living for Jesus. I'm just doing Jesus. What does that mean? Because who is Jesus to you? You know, what is Jesus saying to you or to you, right? Or people who are channeling Jesus. So which Jesus is she following and what does he want from her?
Great
You know,
question.
I lost a good friend. I mean, because we have, you know, I mean, yeah, we could talk about the weather and whatever, right? But our connection was this deep heart, energetic, channeling, sort of shamanic journeying kind of thing together. And, you know, that's not welcome anymore.
You know,
So,
I think the thread that connects them is fear.
mhm.
Something flipped in their world and they went into this place of fear, so that they're now afraid of everything they used to hold dear.
Yeah. I, you know what? I can't, the couple of times that I connected with this friend of mine, it wasn't apparent. It didn't look like fear or sound. I mean, it sort of sounded like she's found some bliss, like she found her path, heart open. You know, it sounded great. I mean, I might even have followed her if I had any idea what it was that I was doing, you know? But still that need, I mean, I could see fear in the need to distance, right? And disconnect from whatever was happening before. I
Well,
mean,
BJ, I
yeah,
think that if you were meant to follow her, you would be following her. That sometimes if
yeah.
that's your path, it's going to appear beneath your feet, and
Hmm.
it's almost unavoidable sometimes.
Right.
So
Yeah.
keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up. Your paradigm is different.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I keep running across people whose paradigms I thought were parallel or pretty close, you know, and come to find out we are not even nearly on the same page. And I feel no desire to follow. You know, it's none of it's like, huh, I wonder why they went there. Let me investigate. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not touching that one because that's my paradigm.
Well, I know for myself, my guides have often said that all paradigms are valid. And this is specifically when I'm asking about, like, is this true or is this true? And they've really said we get to choose. We get to choose
Mhm.
what we want to believe, what paradigm we want to actually step into. And there is a little bleed through with different theories here in this plane, but it's not necessarily that we're right and they're wrong. So it's about learning how to live in your own space, in your own truth, and allow that same gift for everyone else.
That's so important, because when we get to that place of accepting that it's a different reality from ours, but it's still valid for them, then we can have less of this hatred and disconnection with other people. So I think that's a big part of our spiritual journey, is learning that lesson, as difficult as it can be.
And there are many things that we do have in common with our human brothers and sisters here.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can find something in common, right?
Just being here as a human, that's a pretty big one right there. Right. And just, you know, like we all desire pleasure, push away from pain, and all need to eat. Maybe some people are breatharians, I don't know, but for the most part, right, food is necessary, and connection. So yeah.
The other thing I'd like to just touch on is that how things that are very, very real for someone in one paradigm can be very not real in another paradigm, and even so much as like physical things. So, Miche, you were talking about the Mandela
The
effect a little bit
Mandela effect,
earlier.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe you could explain that.
Yeah, I only recently learned about it. A friend of mine said, hey, that must be a Mandela effect. I'm like, what? So apparently, there are numerous things, but I guess maybe the biggest or first one discovered was that there are all these people for whom, in their reality, Nelson Mandela died while he was in prison. Like, people remember that. I mean, this friend of mine who was talking said, I remember, sort of grieving and crying and knowing that that was true. And then in this whole other reality, we know that he made it out of prison and actually went on to lead the country. And how can those both be true? Well, not, I guess, in the same timeline or something. And then there's all these other ones from different times, and just from current. I was telling you before the example of the avocado and how you spell Haas avocado, and now I always knew it to be HAAS, but I believe if I went into the grocery now, it probably says HASS. And how this one guy figured it out is that he's a food distributor. He is the database holder of the food distribution chain, like in the country. And people started calling up their tech support saying, like, I had 20 cases of avocados yesterday and they're gone now. And how he figured out they're gone is because yesterday they were HAAS right? It's a spreadsheet. And today it's HAS. So no, they don't have any more HAS avocados. But are the avocados actually still there or not? I don't know. But they're not in their spreadsheet. And there's all these different circumstances like that where, somebody remember one thing in the game Monopoly, the chance guy or whatever, the one who's on and go around and whatever, does he have a monocle or not? And all these people say the guy had a monocle with his little tuxedo, and then all these other people say he didn't, or the Berenstein bears, right? The kids thing, they were Berenstein. They were like little Jewish bears, and now they're saying, no, it was never like that. It's the Berenstain bears. And what this guy anyway is proposing as the reason, I'm sure he's not the only one, is that we're living in a hologram, and every now and then the system glitches, and that these are glitches in the system and can't repair itself, and so we were going along, I guess, and Nelson Mandela was in prison, and then something happened, and suddenly, he was out of prison. And you can't erase everybody and everything from before, and yet that doesn't exist in my life, so
we're just part of a computer program, is that it?
That we are, that somehow we are, that there's some overarching nefarious or benevolent, I don't know, but that we are living within somehow some kind of, I guess, controlled environment, right? That, we have some control over, right? But that we're not in full freedom, and it's not just rolling on its own. That
interesting.
Yeah.
Where do you think they got the idea for the Matrix?
Well, yeah, exactly. And this guy talks about that and uses that as a parallel. Yeah.
So true. I tend to think of it more as paradigms, almost like if you imagine layers, and it's all in the same place, but you can be, in darkness and love and light, or anywhere in between. And I know for myself personally, I know I put something somewhere and it's disappears. And then maybe I go look for it and it's right there, right where I looked in the first place. And I'll often say to my husband, I just, slipped dimensions again, right?
Right. Yeah. One of the people that I listen to channel is Bashar. And what he talks about is that actually every moment is a new moment, and that we don't sort of improve this moment. Like when we make some change or a decision, we're actually creating a whole new reality that we exist in that decision. So that's like the, I don't know, many universes theory, right? That there's always these splits off, and we could be in any of them. And it seems like I'm keeping along in the same lane, but maybe already that I just showed up here instead of, went for a drive, already, changed me on 10 different levels. I don't know. And do I care? That's the other thing, is, do I really care? I don't want to get caught up personally in conspiracy stuff and live in fear, because I just choose not to, and what does that mean? I'm going to get clobbered because I'm not looking, or I'm going to get to live my life not in fear.
I was taught that we're living 6 consecutive lifetimes. And it's that is so mind-blowing. I don't even want to go there. All I can focus on is this lifetime. So
Right.
I kind of just put that stuff away, and I'll focus on my reality and doing the best I can, accepting other people for their reality. I think that's all we can do without, totally blowing our brains.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really important too that we pay attention to where we put our focus on, and is what we're giving our energy, our power, our attention, is that the paradigm we want to create? Is that the one we want to be immersed in? Because it's not that difficult to switch your inner state and start focusing on something that's higher vibration. But it does take some effort. Definitely take some effort if you're not used to it.
Right.
The ironic thing is that what we're talking about sounds like something in the old days they would have talked about being a bad drug trip.
Yeah.
And the irony that it actually is kind of reality.
Mm-hmm.
That's still hard to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
Who needs drugs?
Right.
For sure.
Just show up and be aware, and that's plenty of a trip.
Well,
Yeah.
it's been real fun talking with both of you today. Do either of you have any last statements you would like to share on this?
I would just second what you said about putting your focus and your attention, putting the energy into the state or the paradigm even that you want to be in. That it takes some diligence and some awareness, and to just keep doing that and go where you want to go, be where you want to be, with whoever you want to do. Yeah. Okay.
And I
Yeah.
might just add too that maybe not take everything quite so seriously,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Lighten up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all of us teach, I believe, about being present in the moment so that we're
Mm-hmm.
not stuck in the past and we're not always in the future, not living our lives. And so, no matter what paradigm or reality you're believing in, if you focus on being present in your life, it will be much better and sweeter.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Agreed. Beautiful, beautiful. So thank you for spending these few moments with us today. We are co-hosts in the Facebook group Soulshine Alchemy, along with Rhonda Farage and Katie Kiefer, who both of them channel, and it's a very spiritual group. Check us out if you'd like to join. We'd love to have you. That's it for today. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for tuning in. If there's something else you would like to hear a panel discussion about, please drop a comment below and remember to subscribe.